Okay, we're ready. How is everyone doing today? Happy Wednesday to you. My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and this is our Wednesday edition of our live Wednesday afternoon live. Every Wednesday we draw a portrait, and I am glad that you're with us, with me, with the group here. If you're looking for community, we have a great community in our Facebook group, and you could find that link down below. And there is a lot of support there that you might find as an artist that you might be missing. So join us. Over there in our Facebook group. We're active all the time, and I think you'll find a place to call home, at least from an art standpoint, right? But my name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and I am glad that you're with us. We'll be spending the next hour or so, and we'll be going over some basic portrait drawing techniques that I will hope to pass on to you that will kind of take the pain out of the difficulties that you might find drawing the portrait. So, of course, we have AJ. I see he's checked in, and Sharon has checked in, and I'm really glad to see the two of you. And if you want to just feel free. Don't be afraid to throw a little chat, say hello, tell us where you're from, and that would be great. But let's jump right into this, okay? All right. First thing I want to show you. Let's just go over. Let's do this. What I want to do is I want to draw this at least twice today. We're going to do a simple one up front. And really, the simple one is to get you familiar with this portrait, and then we will spend 40 minutes actually trying to draw the portrait in a more just giving it more time. I don't want to say more lifelike but to have some more life aspects to it. So, first thing I want you to do on your page, let's just start with a circle, and this is going to represent actually a sphere. All right. And one thing I want you to do is I want you to think of when I draw the portrait. I think of the brow line, and where that brow line turns the corner and goes to the ear. All right. So let's just kind of put a brow line in here. All right. And then we're just going to slightly angle that down to go down toward the top of her ear. And then the far side here, let's just do a soft kind of curve, and this is going to hit up the left side of her face, or her right side of her face. And we're going to come back and do this a little bit more slower. But right now, I just want you to get a feel for it, okay? I put a little line down here for her chin. And then we're just going to come on up, okay? Just something like that. And now, just generally speaking, this is how I usually will draw a portrait. I will start off with a sphere, get a line for the brow line, figure out where the straight line on the face is. If you're going to got to remember the head is flat on both sides, and so if a person is in 3/4 view, which is this is 3/4, you're going to see one side of the head that has a flatness to it. Okay. All right. So this is the part that I want you to get. I want you to be self-aware, and I want you to do this right. This is a 3/4 view, so put the center line off to the left. You see that? You see how I've shifted it, and we'll make, I don't think it's that shifted, but when we draw this a second time, we'll make it a little bit more, we'll have it a little more accuracy. But for right now, we're just going to get that in place there. Okay, let's come in here with these eyes. All right, and so right below that brow line, I'm just going to, remember, we're just kind of quickly getting into this here, all right? Make the top of that eye there. And on the outside of that eye, make it a little bit thicker. And that will represent an eyelash. Okay, put your other eye in place, but really push it to the right quite a bit there, right? So we're gonna come up, we're gonna come down, and just thicken the outside there, and you could even turn up the edges just a little bit. Just a straight line. The one on the right is just has a little bit of an upswing to it. Now I'm just going to fill in this the right side of her pupil here, and because her eye is in shadow, you can't really see much of the iris. Thicken the outside part of that. This will represent the mascara that she has on her lower eyes there. Okay, come right down here. Let's get her nose in place. And what I want you to do is I want you to look at the picture and just kind of estimate where about you think the nose is. Well, we will make a more accurate position when we on our next second draw. This is just to get you familiar. Okay. Let's get these corners of the mouth right here. Okay, these little corners, and look to see where these things are lining up with her eyes above. All right. So if I look closely, this one's it's going to be right about there, and the one on the right is much further out. You see that? Okay, there's the center line for her mouth. And I'm going to draw where the lips come together. So if I look closely, she has that little V that's right in the center of her lips there. You see that? In fact, what we could do is I could just make this picture a little bit bigger. So let's do that. All right, excellent. Here, AJ flying my version. Good, good. All right, little V right in the middle of her lips there. Okay, so just a little bit of a V. And then that line's going to come out right to where we have the those little creases there on either side. Now her lips are round like this. Top of her lips are like this. But when you draw her lips, one thing I want to make sure you do is make sure that this side is wider than this side, and that's gonna give us more of a 3D look. Okay, so let's see if I could zoom in here a bit when we do this. So now you could watch. So I'm going to make another little V up here. There's the short side. And then I'm going to purposely stretch this one out. Now, this is the edge where that lip, top lip, comes in line with that center line. But look where the bottom lip lines up. It comes in ever so slightly. So let's put that in. It's going to come in right about there, maybe, right? And it goes a little bit wider on this side. Let's go ahead and just add some tone to that top lip there. Okay, one other thing I want to show you is these corners are pulling the lips back inside. So what you really want to do is add just a little extra tone in the corners there. You see that? Okay, I'm going to put a little, this little beauty marker, birthmark, this little freckle right here. And then her jaw down here, I've drawn mine a little bit thin, so I'm going to add just a little bit of thickness out there. In fact, I'm going to adjust this on this side as well. Yours might be a little bit different. Okay, we're going quick. We'll slow down on our next one, but this will quickly get you kind of warmed up here. Look at this. Look at the corner of the eye. Look at where the ear starts. And you can actually, like, okay, where is the center of these two eyes right there? Okay, so that gives us a pretty good measurement of how far out to go. So let's take a look at our picture here, and that's going to be the middle between the eyes. There's the outside corner, so I want to come out one more maybe, just about like that. So based upon this, you can see I've already made the width of my head too much. So we adjust. Okay. I'm just getting my orientation back here. All right, looks good. Okay, we have about 30 seconds left for this initial initial sketch. Now, let's, in this last closing minutes here, let's get the brim of this hat and realize it goes out quite a ways. All right, there's the top part there, right? Make sure we're looking up at it, so it's going to have a nice round top there, right? Okay, I'm going to give you 1 minute, 1 minute to get there, because I want to show you what we're going to do. What we'll do this also on the one that we'll take more time with, but I want to make a mistake right now for you, if possible. Very lightly, I want you to take your pencil or whatever you're using and look for the edge of this shadow. It should be coming down like this, right into her lip, right in like that. You see that? And over her entire face, except this little bit of her nose, I want you to drop a tone. And then I want you to drop a second tone by looking at the picture and thinking, where can I drop a second tone of dark? All right, so I'm going to come in here. I'm going to come on the side of her nose. I'm gonna drop some more darker value onto her pupils and eyes. Okay, there we go. There is just a quick overview. Let's go ahead and I'm going to give you 15 seconds, and then let's turn the page and we'll start again. Okay, this should quickly get you warmed up. And I want to turn the page. If you're using a sketchbook, just flip the page over. I don't want you to look at this again until we're done. All right. Don't want you to look at that till we're done. All right, let's start with another sphere. Ooh, look at that. I put it on the wrong layer. All right, there's my sphere. Okay, let's get our brow line and think of this as it's going to be curved. All right, now let's go a little bit slower here. Let's get this center line, and when I drop the center line in, I want to look carefully at both sides there. Make sure that my center line is shifted over to the one side. All right, let's put our temples in. Our temples, if I take my fingers, you can feel your temples right on the outside there of your eyebrows. And this one is going to be closer to the center line than this one over here because it's a 3/4 view. Okay, there's the left-hand side there. And I'm going to erase these outside lines. Okay. How's everyone doing? Okay, so let's take a look at, now this is our brow line. Let's kind of estimate where the bottom of her nose is, okay, by looking at this relationship. Now, her nose is a little bit longer, so I'm going to come right about there, I believe. And let's go ahead and establish about where the bottom of the chin is here. So bottom of the chin is going to be about there. So what we're looking at this distance, so the bottom of the nose is almost halfway. It's almost halfway. So we could look at that and then guesstimate by doubling that to where her chin is. Now, if you look closely at this portrait here, that right there, that's where I see where it stops being flat and it starts to get this nice graceful curve into her chin. So let's try to estimate that. That's going to be right about there, just above the bottom. And we could take the next measurement we could take a look at this, where it's this, the temple right there. And if we draw a straight line down from the temple, this will kind of give us an idea of where that cheek lies. You see that? And that cheek lies just outside that smile there. But you can see it's just a little bit below the nose and near the chin there. So we can kind of guesstimate that idea, right? So it's going to be below, something like that. We're going to draw it in just a second, but I want to show you one more thing. So that's the temple. on that side. Here is the temple on the other side. And then this is the back of the head. So let's make that adjustment here. So this is the temple. You see this? So I'm going to it's almost right about there. Okay, now I can kind of like start to pencil in this the side of her head there. And you can see even in my drawing here, you know, I've made some pretty big adjustments. Okay, next thing what I want to do, I'm going to go ahead and add just some of the detail down here in her scarf and everything, because it helps me to kind of get an idea where things are at. So first thing I want to look at is look at that knot. You see that knot? That knot is like this whole area there, okay? It's almost, and I'm now looking at the face and I'm thinking, what? That size of that knot is similar to almost the negative space over here. You see that? I'm always looking for comparisons. So this is the bottom of her chin. And I'm kind of looking at this side. I'm looking at this side over here. And this doesn't have to be perfect, but it just helps to have it in place, at least for me. Okay, now I can... Here's something else I just noticed. Look at this. This is where this gets so helpful in that, look at this negative shape. You see that negative shape? And look at my negative shape. It's too long. So this actually has to be up higher. Negative shapes are always so helpful to guide you. Let's jump to the other side. Look at this. This is almost a straight line right there, right? Look at that. Look at that angle. You see that? Let's rough that one in. So let's see. We're going to come down, straight down. Just draw it lightly. All right, beautiful. Okay, let's get some detail in this face here, right? Let's get this eye line in here first, okay? So This nose, you're going to start with this. This is the eye line. We'll come back and draw the eye there in just a second. But the outside of the edge of that nose, you have the gabella, right? And draw this lightly. There's the edge for us. And her nose kind of is definitely, her head is like coming down a little bit. So we really don't see the bottom of her nose. What you see is the ball of her nose going underneath, so we can do that. And usually the width of the nose is usually the same width as an eye. So if we come up here and determine roughly, okay, that's about where my tear duct is going to be on that side. And the outside of her eye is going to be about there. That helps me determine the width of her nose. Slight J hook. Little J hook, and then the weight of the nostril is toward the top. Okay. I'm just putting these colors down here so I can quickly select them as I need them. Okay, check this out. Look at here's the corner of her eye. And if I draw a straight line, wow, look at that. It lines up with her nostril, all right? So there's the nostril, there's the corner of her eye right there. And again, it's about the same. It's a little, because it's on this 3/4 view, it's going to be a little bit wider. And then when I'm going to draw the eye, usually with the eyes, I like to come up, across, and down. And then the bottom, I will come down, and I'll come across. Okay, so 2 on the bottom, 3 on top. All right, so let's just put that in there. Long, short, long, short. This was, I should have done that a little bit better. Long, short. This would be a right eye. This here is a no good eye. You know what you do with if you draw a no good eye, you know what you do? You just add a patch to it. That's what you do. You just put a patch on top of it. And that makes a good story. Okay. All right, like we did on our earlier drawing, let's thicken up the outside. And the same thing on this one, we'll thicken up the outside. And the size of the pupil, I like to look toward the whites of the eye. So that will help me to know how much to fill in. Now, her right eye, from my estimation, is too wide. So all I'm going to do is just give her thicker eyelashes. When we come back with shading, it will help with a lot of this, but we're not gonna put the shading in quite yet. All right, let's go ahead and get these lips in. And if you notice around the outside corner here, you have the ball of the mouth. So let's put the ball of the mouth in and do this lightly. Goes right behind the nose. Okay. Now what I'm looking at here is here's the tip of her nose. Let me change that to be red, actually. It'll be easier to see. And here is that little corner of her mouth. Here's the edge over here, and here's that corner of the mouth. So let's try and place those accurately. All right, do a slight U. And you can see I've pushed my U off to the one side there. When did you lose sound? I'm sorry, I just saw that. You know what? When the cat, when the cat came by, I'm so sorry about that. I'm back. Oh my. Okay. Let's bring up our big picture again here. Okay, I'm going to make my head smaller here so we can start working on these some of the hats and things. Okay, let's get this. Let's not be shy about the brim of this hat here, right? Let's come all the way out to about where we believe it's going to go. Look at that negative shape. Very foreshortened on the other side. All right, we can get the brim there, right? I'm looking, what I'm doing here, I'm looking to see where the edge of her eye is in relationship to the edge of her hat. You see that? Using that measurement there. Okay, coming down now and just kind of adjusting the right side there, looking to where the bottom of her ear is. If I use a horizontal line, it's right above her nose. Okay. Just keep making adjustments here. All right, let's get the outline of the scarf in. Looking for this up the shape of this collar. Her shoulder, where's her shoulder coming to? Look at this. This is interesting. Her shoulder is here. If I keep that angle up, it almost points right to the bottom of her nose. I can also use this negative shape. This will also help me determine her her braid coming down. And here I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the tip of that neckerchief to the edge of that braid. Do you see that? There's the tip of the neckerchief. So that braid is going to be probably in here. Okay, I'm going to add some tone now. Just like what we did before. So on our face, I'm just going to have an even tone coming all the way down. Get the right angle there. Add some tone in this collar. Okay. Add some tone in the brim of this hat. This is just the first layer of tone. So now here I am. I'm at a good spot. I've kind of got things kind of mapped out. I've put some hard shapes on things, and let's take a minute. Let's take a minute now and go in with our dark darks. Where are our absolute dark darks? Well, it's going to be her pupils, her mascara, and the brim of this hat. So I'm just going to come in dark here. I'm going to do it carefully. That negative shape. And on this side too. Oops. Oh, and let's go ahead and get this collar. And this also, this collar is very dark. All right, let's go ahead and drop in one more tone in the face area here, and I'm just going to follow some of the shadows. I'm going to come back in and darken in these shadows again, but for right now, I just want to get another pass going. Just if you look at your picture and just ask yourself, where is the darkest dark? Where is the lightest light? What I'm looking at right now, where does it fall within that spectrum? Look at the change in value on this. Just look at each piece and start to determine, like, oh, what's that? What's those values? Does these values come together? Which is darker, which is lighter? Just slowly, methodically asking yourself, does this value need to be darker? Or does this value need to be lighter? Look, I just noticed something. The brim, the brim of her hat has a nice shadow line that goes all the way across. And then, where the brim comes in contact with that hat, it stays light, but then it gets dark. Okay, guess what? We're up on our time. Our hour has gone. Boy, did that go! That always goes so quick. But I am excited to see how yours turned out. I'm gonna turn off the camera here and work on mine just a little bit more. And then I'm going to compare mine. Let's see. Let's bring the other one up real quickly. Let's turn this picture off. Okay, so there we are. There is our quick 15-minute, 20-minute version, and then our 40-minute version. Look at that. So I'll be excited to see how yours turned out. Okay. Oh, thanks, AJ. It's okay. Just gotta keep. You just keep chiseling away. This happens for me. I often notice that in the midst of my drawing, there'll be a point in my head. I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, this looks completely awful. It looks. This is what I think to myself. It's falling apart. And that feeling and expression never goes away. But I know that if you just keep punching through it, you will come out on the other end. I had a real good illustrator friend of mine who always said that when he painted, there was always an ugly part of the painting when he just would like, oh, this is awful. And then as he continued to persevere, it would start to fall into place. So that's what I got for you all today. Thank you so much for joining. Thanks for being a part of our community. Please give the video a thumbs up and leave a comment of, leave a comment of if you are, what's the question I would ask? Let me know if you like the theme of cowboys. Say more cowboys, okay? Hey, we'll see you guys later, okay? My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws. Thanks for watching. AJ and John and Sharon, thanks for tuning in and leaving a comment. See you guys later. Bye-bye.